Hi again and welcome back. In this short video you'll see how I managed to pull myself back on an afternoon where there wasn't much price action. Markets were moving sideways throughout this New York session. Managed to pull myself back from a loss back into profit using the simple criteria that we use at the Price Action Traders Institute. If you enjoy these videos, please remember to click on subscribe. It helps get the message out to more people, and also you'll get the heads up as and when I post new ones. If you'd like to find out more about the way that we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, you can find out from my website, which is www.uk2asia.com. Okay, let's get over to the charts. One and only trade I'm in at the moment is New Zealand dollar, US dollar. We're seeing some great moves, but nothing's hitting my entry criteria at the moment. Just the NU did on the last candle. So the NU in at 79. It's the only trade I've taken at the moment, but I'm tracking everything else, keeping a close eye on all these moves. We're seeing US dollar weakness and we're seeing euro strength. I'll be tracking these and watching them very carefully. Okay, I'll pause again and I'll be back very soon. One other trade, just hit one of my orders as it came through an entry point. US dollar, Canadian dollar, taken at 22, looking for further downside movement. Looking for this US dollar weakness to continue throughout this New York session. Okay, so they're the only two trades I've got at the moment. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, I'll pause again, be back soon. Back again as we're seeing some reasonable moves continuing, and I've taken a few more trades. So Euro, Japanese yen, took this at 90 as it come through one of our entry levels. Looking for further upside movement, bought this one. The GU hit my order just now on that last candle. Again, looking for further upside movement, took this at 42. Pound, Japanese yen, again, that last candle spiked through my order, and looking for further upside movement on this. Took this one at 20, 21. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Price is sitting there right on my entry point, but again, I've taken this long looking for further upside movement. US dollar, Canadian dollar, still moving down nicely. One of those first two trades that I took. Coming down towards that 0-0. I'll lock in break even if it reaches there, maybe a little bit more. Looking for it to push through that 0-0 and down through this day's low onwards towards this 80. So we'll see what that does. Moving really nicely at the moment. And the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, still holding that. Stalling a little bit at the moment, but that's looking quite good at the moment. Still holding strong. So I'll pause again and I'll be back very soon to give you an update as to what happens with these trades. Okay, let's quickly run through these pairs that I'm holding right now. Euro, US dollar. As I said, took this at 88 on one of our entry points. Took this long looking for further upside movement. The Euro, Japanese yen. Saw a deep pullback on this last candle here. Very, very close to stopping me out, but we're seeing that Japanese yen strength kicking in. So we're holding off at the moment, but not looking too great right now. The pound US dollar, still holding this one from earlier on. Looking for it to get back through that 50 and get up towards that 80. And who knows, if that pound kicks off on anything that's happening within Brexit or the Brexit negotiations, may even see it make it up to that 0-0 up there where my take profit is right now. Pound Japanese yen, my initial trade on this was stopped out. Took a full stop on that, losing 12 pips. Taking a re-entry, and I'm looking for further upside movement on that. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Again, this is pulling back a little bit because of that Japanese yen strength, but starting to ease a little bit now, coming back up towards where my entry was. US dollar, Canadian dollar. This is still moving down quite nice. US dollar weakness. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. That's still holding its own because of that US dollar strength. Okay, so I'll pause for now. Like I say, down 12 pips on the pound Japanese yen. Holding some reasonable trades right now. Seeing some reasonable moves still continuing across the board. So let's see. It could be an interesting afternoon. But saying that, you know what it's like. We could see sideways movement. But at the moment, it's looking quite interesting. And we could see some reasonable moves this afternoon. Okay, I'll pause for now and be back very, very soon. Back with an update as we're seeing a lot of these prices reversing. So I'll quickly run through these. Took the Euro US dollar as it came through one of our entry points. Looking for further upside movement on this, driven by the US dollar weakness. Just hanging around at the moment, going sideways, but we've just taken it. It's just moving into the London close time now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in London, and we sometimes see some reasonable moves as we're coming into the London close this last hour. So might see some more upward movement on that US dollar. So I've taken that, I've got in that 88. Euro, Japanese yen, Took a stop on this, a full stop on this, losing 10 pips. And I took a re-entry on this as it came through one of our re-entry levels. The pound US dollar, see still holding that, that's hanging on there, that original trade. Pound Japanese yen, first trade stopped out on this, losing me 12 pips. And the second trade that I took, a re-entry, again stopped out on that. That was a full stop as well. So lost 24 pips so far on the GJ today. Looking at that starting to move up now, wondering whether to take... I might consider a re-entry on this a bit further up, but we'll have to see what price does on that pound. Moving on, Australian dollar, US dollar. We can see we've had this big pullback here on that last candle and looking for that to continue moving up. My trade plan on this hasn't changed at all. Still looking for further upside movement, and so still holding that. A little bit in the red at the moment. Australian dollar, Japanese yen was one that I got stopped out of, losing me 12 pips. Just need to update my journal. So Australian dollar, Japanese yen, out of that, and I will possibly be looking for a re-entry on that in a minute. US dollar CAD, I locked in 2 pips on this, so price, you can see on that last candle, was pulled way back, hit my price stop, giving me 2 pips. And the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, still holding that. You can see that that gain's been pulled pretty much all the way back, but still holding this. Again, trade plan hasn't changed at all on this, and I'm looking for further upside movement. So that's where I am right now. I'm down 46 pips right now, and just holding these trades and seeing where they go. Okay, I'll pause again, be back soon. Again, just going to run through these just to show you where I am right now. I'm still down 44 pips. And trades I've got running are getting very close to letting me punch out at break even if I want to. So I'm just considering that right now, the way the markets are performing at the moment. Plus it's getting a bit late. I've been here for a good few hours now. So Euro US dollar, still holding that, seeing that pull right the way back there. You saw that pull right the way back to where I entered. Starting to see it lift off a little bit again. The Euro Japanese yen, this is holding quite nicely. I've locked in break even on this, just looking for it to push through that 0-0 a little way, just to give me a 2-to-1 risk to reward. I've set my take profit at 20 pips on this, so seeing if I can get a 2-to-1. The GU, I was saying that, going back to the EJ, if these move up a little bit further, like I say, I'd be quite happy to get back to break even today. So let's just see what this does, see what the momentum's like, see how the movement's going, and I may even just punch out of these for break even. Pound US dollar, that's holding up above that 50 level at the moment, looking for that to move up towards that 80 possibly, so we'll see how that goes. Australian dollar, US dollar, they're starting to climb now. I think we're seeing some strength on the Australian dollar. Yep, looks like it. And the AJ, Australian dollar, Japanese yen, that re-entry that I took there is moving up nicely through that 50, looking for that to move up towards that 80. But again, I've got 24 pips as my take profit on this as a 2-to-1 risk to reward. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, you can see that's still holding up in profit there, looking for that to move up a bit further towards that 0-0. So again, I'll pause and I'll be back very soon to let you know whether I'm going to punch out of these or whether I'm going to push them a little bit further and see if I can take some profit today. Okay, finally decided to punch out of those trades just a few candles back. Had a little bit of a price burst which went through, took me through my break even and gave me a little bit of profit. So you can see if you look down here, the amount of trades that I took today were 11. I won plus 63 pips, I lost 46 pips, leaving me with plus 17 pips. And that equates to 0.54% on my capital after costs. That's what's actually left in the bank. Okay, I'll shut this down for now and I'll be back very soon. Please remember to click on subscribe and hit the little bell and you'll get the heads up as and when I post these videos. If you want to learn more about the way we trade at the Price Action Traders Institute, you can go to my website, which is www.uk2asia.com. Okay, thanks very much and see you again soon.